but there will be few differences we'll try to understand. And also, if possible, we'll also try to verify the VRRP configuration as well. So the first major difference is it's a standard protocol. Whereas if you remember the HSRP was a proprietary, whereas Cisco proprietary, whereas the VRRP will be used as a standard protocol, which means you can run any non-Cisco devices and you can run the run the redundancy between the gateways. Okay, so that's the main difference, and it's an RFC defined because it's a standard, so RFC defined in 3768. Now the concept wise here we call it as a master and backup. Just like in the HSRP we call it as active standby, here we call it as a master and backup. And the next thing is election criteria. Now if you talk about the election criteria remains the same. By default, all the gateways will have the default priority value of 100. And in case if there is a tie in the priority value, the tiebreaker will be the highest IP address. So in our case, this is going to become the master and the other gateways will be considered as a backup. Okay. So now the good thing, now there is one more difference with HSRP is you can have a multiple backups here. Like generally we can have two backups available, which can be used in the case of VRRP. But if you compare the HSRP, we have only two gateways. One will be acting as an active and the other one will be the standby. So that is another major difference. We can have multiple routers can be as a backup. That's a slight difference. And another difference is the preemption is by default, it is enabled. If you remember what is preemption, preemption is just like, let's say this has become the master and the remaining routers are the backup. And let's say due to some reason, this master router is down, it is going to automatically make any other router as a master, the second one, with a better priority value or the highest IP. So let's say if the master is back, so this will automatically become the master, which means the backup will be, again, the existing master will go as a backup and the previous master will become the master again. So in the case of HSRP, we have to enable the preempt. Here, you don't need to do it because it's by default enabled. And the other option is the VRRP load balancing. Now, again, here also by default, one will be considered as a master and the remaining will be the backup, which means at a time, only one gateway will be forwarding the traffic, whereas the remaining will be just used as a backup. Now, if you want to do some kind of load sharing, we can do similar thing what we did for the VLANs, like for the VLAN 10, you can say this is the master, and for the VLAN 20, this is the master, and for the VLAN 30, this is the master. You can either use the multi-VLANs concept, similar way what we did with the HSRP, or even you can create multiple groups and you can, if you're using routers, then you can create multiple groups similar to what we did in the HSRP. So the concept of load balancing or the load sharing is the same as what we did in the HSRP concepts. So if you try to compare this with the options what we covered, because we already know HSRP protocol, we already covered that. The main difference, like I said, the standard, you have only one primary and the backup. Here there are multiple backups. The election process is the same. And you can see the preemption is by default enabled. It is disabled here. And you can, now the next thing is virtual IP. Now there is one more difference, the virtual IP. Now virtual IP means, like if you take this example here. Now in this example, let's say if I'm using HSRP, in the case of HSRP, let's assume these are the physical interface IPs. I have to give the virtual IP. The virtual IP should be different than what is present in this. So let's say if I'm giving the virtual IP as 10.0010. So the virtual IP should not be existing or assigned to any interface. But whereas in the case of VRRP, let's say we can have three, like 1, 2, 3. And the virtual IP, we can give the virtual IP as 10.003, which means we can use the same existing physical interface IP can be used as a virtual IP in the case of VRRP. But whereas in the case of HSRP, you cannot use the physical interface IP, you have to use a different IP other than what is assigned for the physical interface. So that's the main, that's another difference we can say. So as you can see, there are slight variations. We are just trying to understand the little bit of variations with compared to the HSRP protocol. Now, the other thing, the timers will change. Of course, the hold on time 1 and 3 by default. Here it is 3 and 10. We can even change the timers here as well. The multicast address will change 224.00.18 and this. So if you're using any ACLs on the interface, make sure that you are permitting the VRRP traffic or this multicast address is permitted, just to make sure that, you know, the VRRP communication goes fine. Authentication, you can authentication is the same concept, so the same here. IPv6 support is also there in VRRP version 3. And the main thing, another main reason for using VRRP is cross-vendor redundancy. Means if you're running any Cisco and a non-Cisco environment, let's say Juniper, or running any other vendor other than Cisco, you can use VRRP. Of course, the other vendors will have the different configurations. Now, if you try to compare, let's say if someone asks you what are the benefits of using the VRRP over HSRP, mostly it's almost the same. The main difference is the cross vendor, that is multi, like the proprietary, the main thing, you know, the standard, which is a cross vendor compatibility. And of course, the preemption is enabled here. And the virtual IP can be the any interface IPs. You can use any of the interface IP. The primary or the master IP can be used. So those are the benefits we can say. But of course, every protocol has their own benefits. But if you compare, these are the some of the benefits over the HSRP. Okay, so in simple, the VRRP protocol does the same thing what HSRP will do, and you probably prefer to use VRRP in most cases if you're running any kind of cross vendor compatibility. So if you're running all Cisco devices, you probably go with GLBP or HSRP. But whereas if you're running any kind of non-Cisco environment, you probably prefer to go with VRRP protocol.